And a fine howdy do to you. Hey, I found this as part of a mixed 8-pack. It came with 2 of these, 2 Guinness Draft, 2 Smittix, and 2 Smittix Pale Ale. And so let me try to do a video for this one. And oddly enough, I've had this black lager before, but for some reason, I hadn't got around to doing a video for it. So let's pop and pour. I looked on their website. Their website's rather vague, to be honest with you. If you don't mind, I am going to take a quick picture, if you'll all bear with me. Well, son of a gun, I hate when it does that. It came out blurry on me. Alright, there's a good one. Okay, that's a keeper, baby. That's a keeper. So I'm using my Bush Goblet here. I bought for 50 cents at a thrift store in Lebanon, Kentucky, I believe is where I got this one. Old Bush Bavarian beer. I'm not sure. I'm guessing this is probably from the 70s. Jay Terrio from Louisiana Beer Reviews really is the expert on this kind of thing, so I need to ask him. But I'm guessing, by looking at the logo, I'm guessing it's a 70s-esque glass. So let's drink a little bit. It's 4.5%. Aromas are, you got some light roasted malt. More of the same on the flavor. 4.5%. This is very light. I mean, it looks dark. And some people equate dark with heavy. That's, of course, if you know beer, you know that's not really the case because this is very light-bodied, easy to drink at 4.5%. I'd certainly call it a session beer. Oh. I think a beer like this is actually good for early fall sessions. To be honest with you, it's you got a little bit of flavor here, a little more than your typical American lager. 4.5% is not a beer that's going to put your winky in the mud. Certainly a beer that will stand up to holiday parties if you're going somewhere for Halloween or something. If you got a fall party to go to, this would be a good beer for that. It'd be good for a card game because, again, it gives you some flavor without putting your winky in the mud. Oh. Here's my take on this beer. It's likable. It's likable if unremarkable. I mean, there's nothing special about this that I can tell you about. There's no one flavor that makes me go, holy crap. But I don't feel like it's flawed either, to be honest with you. I mean, it is, sometimes you want those big, crazy craft beers that you want to spend some time with. But sometimes you just want to come home and drink a beer, right? Sometimes it's been a hard day at work and you don't want to pop a pretentious, expensive beer. This really fits for that kind of bill. I mean, it's not crazy expensive. Gives you some flavor without making you work too hard for it. Doesn't tax your taste buds a lot. I mean, it would certainly be good with hamburgers if you're grilling out there. I mean, it would be good with just about any comfort food meal, I would think. Again, it's also good for just after work. You just got home and you just want to pop 1 or 2 cold ones and relax. That's perfect. It would also be a nice, lawnmower type beer. You typically would think lawnmower beers, lighter American lagers are very light, pale ales. But I think a beer like this works too, especially when, we're talking about the fall, we're, looking at 50, 60-degree days. A beer like this does kind of fit that bill because it gives you some flavor. Not crazy flavor, it's not a lot, but you got a little more roasted barley going on here than a light lager. But the body is light, so it's not going to fill you up. It's a little deceptive. I'm not going to bag on this beer. I'm just not. It does what it's supposed to do. There's just, it's not that beer that's going to make you write 100 adjectives. But there's something to be said for just being good, too. And I think this is just a good, drinkable beer. So there you go. I'm John the Beer Whisperer. How about that? So good.